We're already 4 weeks into the 2023 NFL regular season with just 14 left to go.
A knee for Tannehill for the first time in a decade. He quarterbacks a team to a victory over the Cincinnati Bengals.
Can't wait to see what this week has in store for us. Let's dive into the Week 5 edition of our 2023 NFL Power Rankings. Number 32, Chicago Bears. Last time's ranking, 32. Just when you thought things couldn't get any worse for the Bears, they blew a 21-point lead at home to a Denver Broncos team that, gave up a 70-burger to Miami 1 week earlier. Hey, congrats to the incompetent Bears on handing Denver its first win of the Sean Payton era. Number 31, Carolina Panthers. Last time's ranking, 30. Carolina lost to Minnesota in a battle of 0-3 teams. Alongside Chicago, Carolina is now one of the last two remaining 0-4 clubs. Look, we know he's a rookie, but Bryce Young's miserable play is certainly uninspiring, especially when you look over and see how well CJ Stroud is doing in Houston. Number 30, New York Giants. Last time's ranking, 28. Oh boy, what an absolute embarrassment. The Giants gave their fans absolutely nothing to celebrate in Monday's humiliating loss to the Seahawks. Daniel Jones's $140 million extension already looks like the worst in all of football. Hard to believe that Brian Dable got this team to the playoffs a year ago. Number 29, Las Vegas Raiders. Last time's ranking, 27. Aiden O'Connell's rookie mistake and costly interception derailed the Raiders' chances of stunning the Los Angeles Chargers. And now the Black and Silver find themselves at 1-3 in the AFC basement. The 1-3 Raiders don't look anything close to a playoff contender. You gotta wonder if the likes of Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs will soon hit the trade block. Number 28, Arizona Cardinals. Last time's ranking, 26. The Cardinals hung in there for a while and kept it close against the San Francisco 49ers, but Kyle Shanahan's squad pulled away with 2 fourth-quarter TDs to win by 14. Again, moral losses aren't really a thing in football, but you gotta love the way that the Cardinals are playing under head coach Jonathan Gannon. Number 27, Denver Broncos. Last time's ranking, 31. The Broncos should have lost soundly to the Bears on Sunday, but hey, you never have to apologize for winning games you deserve to lose in the NFL. While Vance Joseph's defense remains an absolute mess, at least Sean Payton has low-key brought Russell Wilson back to form. Number 26, New England Patriots. Last time's ranking, 22. Look, we always try to be cautious in counting out a Bill Belichick coach team, but we just can't anymore. Falling 31-3, which marked Belichick's worst loss as a head coach.
I used to fear you, respect you. Now all that's left is pity.
Number 25, Minnesota Vikings. Last time's ranking, 29. The Vikings barely snuck past an awful Carolina team to avoid a 0-4 start. It's something to celebrate, but the Chiefs and 49ers make up 2 of the Vikings' next 3 games. So, we advise Minnesota fans to proceed with caution if they want to stay optimistic. Number 24, Cincinnati Bengals. Last time's ranking, 17. Yeesh, just another awful outing by the Bengals, who proved to be no match for the Tennessee Titans on Sunday. Cincy is now 1-3 with an ugly minus 45-point differential. A loss in Arizona this Sunday will all but put an end to their playoff hopes. Just saying. Number 23, New York Jets. Last time's ranking, 24. The Jets have now dropped 3 straight following the Week 1 upset of the Bills. This season is quickly going sideways, and it's hard to see a path where they save it in a crowded AFC loaded with contenders. Number 22, New Orleans Saints. Last time's ranking, 14. Starting to think these Saints just aren't meant to be. Derek Carr looks no better than Jameis Winston or Andy Dalton from last year. We were high on them as the team to beat in the NFC South, but now it feels like they're destined for a 7-win season at best. Number 21, Washington Commanders. Last time's ranking, 20. The Commanders were oh so close to pulling off a big upset in Philly, but they dropped a 34-31 heartbreaker in overtime. A tough loss to be sure, but the Commanders showed that they can hang in there with the NFC's best. Number 20, Indianapolis Colts. Last time's ranking, 15. The Colts were oh so close to beating the Los Angeles Rams, but they lost a nail-biter in overtime. A lost opportunity to claim sole possession of first in the AFC South. But at least the Colts are in the running for the division crown to begin with. Number 19, Green Bay Packers. Last time's ranking, 11. The Packers were dismantled and embarrassed by the Detroit Lions on their own field on Thursday night. Jordan Love never stood a chance against that Detroit front seven. But even more concerning, a defense that looked borderline top 10 on paper this year hasn't been coming up with enough timely stops. Number 18, Atlanta Falcons. Last time's ranking, 13. what can we say? Desmond Ridder is holding this team back, especially Kyle Pitts and Drake London. Seriously, at what point does Arthur Smith give in and finally give Taylor Heineke a look? Number 17, Tennessee Titans. Last time's ranking, 23. These Titans are weird. Lose to the Saints, beat the Chargers in overtime, get crushed in Cleveland, then humiliate the Bengals. Will the real Titans please stand up? Number 16, Pittsburgh Steelers. Last time's ranking, 10. A disappointing loss for the Steelers, who put up almost no fight against the Texans on the road. It's tough to know where this team is headed. 2 blowout losses and 2 close wins add up to a 2-2 record. They're in that mushy middle along with seemingly one half of the league. Number 15, Los Angeles Rams. Last time's ranking, 21. With an overtime win in Indy, the Rams are now 2-2 and right back in the playoff race. And hey, newsflash, they're about to get Cooper Kupp back. It might be that this tandem takes the Rams back to the postseason, but hey, we'll see. Number 14, Cleveland Browns. Last time's ranking, 12. Browns stood no chance against a formidable Baltimore defense without Deshaun Watson. The league's number 1 defense had absolutely no answers for the Ravens' high-powered rushing game, and they're just in the mushy middle at 2-2. Cleveland now enters the bye week before coming home to host San Fran in Week 6. Number 13, Los Angeles Chargers. Last time's ranking, 19. The Chargers almost chargered it up, but the defense came through in a clutch late-game pick on Aiden O'Connell to seal the deal. Khalil Mack went beast mode and turned in a 6-sack game, reminding everyone that he still has a lot of football left in him. If Brandon Staley can just stop it with the stupid decision-making, the Bolts should be a playoff team again. Number 12, Jacksonville Jaguars. Last time's ranking, 18. The Jaguars bounced back nicely from a blowout loss to the Texans by stumping the Falcons in London. Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne Jr., and Christian Kirk all produced nicely in the potential season-saving W that puts the Jaguars back in a 4-way tie for first in the AFC South. Not really too much to celebrate, though, now with the Jaguars having to stay in London for a home contest with the surging Buffalo Bills. Number 11, Houston Texans. Last time's ranking, 25. Might be time to start taking Houston seriously. The defense is rolling, and rookie QB CJ Stroud is making it look too easy with 6 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Houston has been so much more disciplined and laser-focused on both sides of the ball under first-year head coach DeMeco Ryans. Number 10, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last time's ranking, 16. New Orleans defense had absolutely 0 answers for the 2018 first overall pick, who is really looking like someone who's found their niche. A nice feel-good story so far, but the hard part is sustaining it, especially against tough opponents. Number 9, Miami Dolphins. Last time's ranking, 3. The Dolphins' feel-good vibes were fun while they lasted, but Mike McDaniel's group got exposed by a competent team in the Buffalo Bills, who gave opposing defenses the blueprint to slowing down the once unstoppable offense. Even worse for Miami, that defense looks completely helpless, having allowed 29.8 points per game through 4 weeks. Number 8, Seattle Seahawks. Last time's ranking, 8. What did the Giants ever do to the Seahawks? Yeesh! 11 sacks in Monday's massacre of the Giants at MetLife Stadium. Hard to believe that these Hawks once got rolled by the Rams at home back in Week 1. At 3-1, they're looking every bit like the contender that we expected. Number 7, Detroit Lions. Last time's ranking, 9. The Lions took 30 or so years of being humiliated by the Packers and took it out by laying out a giant beating at Lambeau Field. Hey, no mercy shown for the Cheeseheads whatsoever in this NFC North clash. At 3-1, the Lions look like the runaway favorites to win the NFC North. Dan Campbell's squad has lived up to the sky-high expectations thus far. Number 6, Baltimore Ravens. Last time's ranking, 7. The Ravens had it too easy against the Deshaun Watson-less Browns on Sunday. The result? A 3-1 start that puts them in a 4-way tie for tops in the AFC. That right there is something Lamar Jackson and company will absolutely take. Number 5, Dallas Cowboys. Last time's ranking, 6. Well, that's one way to take out your frustrations on a stunning road loss in Arizona. Dallas showed absolutely 0 mercy to Bill Belichick's Patriots, handing the greatest coach ever his worst loss by a final score of 31-3. They can make an even bigger statement if they can upset Brock Purdy's 49ers at Levi's Stadium this Sunday. Number 4, Buffalo Bills. Last time's ranking, 5. That ugly Week 1 loss to the Jets feels like a lifetime ago. Buffalo has taken out its frustrations on poor Vegas, Washington, and Miami, putting up at least 37 points in each contest during their 3-game winning streak. Unlike Miami, Buffalo has a defense, and a top 5 unit at that. To us, there is absolutely no doubt who KC's biggest challengers are in the AFC. Number 3, Kansas City Chiefs. Last time's ranking, 4. The Jets made life miserable for Patrick Mahomes on Sunday, but the league's best player found a way, as he almost always does. KC's offense is rolling with Travis Kelce back, and their D has never looked this good under Steve Spagnuolo. Number 2, Philadelphia Eagles. Last time's ranking, 2. Well, it hasn't been pretty, but the Eagles are 4-0. 3 of those wins have been by one-score games, including Sunday's heart-pounder against the Commanders. But this should encourage Eagles fans. They are undefeated despite playing up to a C+ level at this point. Just wait until this loaded group starts to play up to its usual standards. Number 1, San Francisco 49ers. Last time's ranking, 1. The 49ers are just toying with their opponents. They have won all 4 games to open the season by an average margin of 16.8. Hard to beat a team with a top 3 defense and top 3 offense, and to us, there is no doubt who the early Super Bowl 58 favorites are. But who do you think should be number 1 in our power rankings? Is there anything that you would change? Let us know in the comment section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.